Remember how we got here. Putin invaded Ukraine.
Would you say that the war in Ukraine is the primary driver of inflation in America?
No, inflation was high before, certainly before the war in Ukraine broke out.
I really encourage everybody to read the whole letter because I think it's very interesting and somewhat eye-opening about what's going on here. It says, your administration has largely sought to criticize and at times vilify our industry. These actions are not beneficial to meeting the challenges we face and are not what the American people deserve. To which, on receipt of this letter, the president said this. Watch.
It's mildly sensitive. I didn't know they'd get their feelings hurt that quickly.
What did he mean by that? It's the highest volume of oil and gas in their 143-year history in 2021. It says that their refining grew to 915 barrels per day year over year, up from 881. So they're refining at a higher capacity than they did the year before. They also invested $10 billion to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and scale new energy technologies. It says that they expect and hope that America will be leading in these critical new industries. But the president, from the debates on, has said that he wants to eventually see the end of their industry.
The contents of the letter. I mean, that letter is confirming one thing we're saying, which is that oil production has done well under President Biden, that it is actually higher than the average year under President Trump, and that it's projected next year to be the highest ever. So, one, it's very clear from the letter itself that there's nothing in the Biden administration policy that is inhibiting oil production. We're calling for more. This is a time of war. You know what we do? We ask ourselves every day, is there anything, even if it's small, we can do to help deal with the Putin tax on American consumers? So for us to say, yes, you've done some more production, you've done some more refinery capacity, but what more can you do is the right thing for a president to ask, specifically after they pulled down 800,000 barrels per day in 2020.
Well, they were trying to adjust for the lack of what was needed out there because we were in a complete lockdown in the economy. So then they have to ramp it back up.
They made a decision.
Well, I think Chairman Powell answered truthfully. I listened to Mr. Sperling's dialogue. I think I speak for most Americans when I say that if you put Mr. Sperling and his colleagues at the White House in charge of the Sahara Desert, they would run out of sand. Simple-minded. Either that or they're just not telling the truth. The president's latest proposal is to eliminate the 18-cent federal gas tax for 3 months. Average gas in my state's $4.51. Is $4.33 better than $4.51? Sure. But the price isn't going to stay at $4.33 unless we do something. The only way to get gasoline prices lower is to flood this country with oil, our own oil, and guarantee to the industry that if it invests capital to do that, that it will be allowed to get a return on its capital, and that as soon as the crisis is passed, the Biden administration won't try to put them out of business. Because it's trying to put them out of business. The Biden administration has blocked oil and gas leasing in the Gulf, blocked oil and gas leasing in Anwar, sicked the FTC on the industry. It's promulgating new NEPA rules so you wouldn't be able to build a pipeline in America. And those are all just facts. And I think Mr. Sperling is he's being very disingenuous. That's the most charitable thing I can say.
You know what, let's remind everybody that President Biden, now President Biden, and then President Trump. Watch.
It has to be replaced by renewable energy over time. And I'd stop giving to the oil industry, I'd stop giving them federal subsidies.
So basically what he's saying is he is going to destroy the oil industry. Okay. Will you remember that, Texas? Will you remember that, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma?
Vice President
In fact, just the other day, President Biden said that this opportunity provides us the moment to transition to these other areas. And I think most Americans, Senator Kennedy, are not opposed to